your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, neighbors. What's going on? Good morning from New York City. What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing very well. Today is what? Tuesday, the 4th of February. Happy new month to you. I think it's my first time back this month live. And today I felt the urge in my spirit. Unfortunately, I'm kind of like all climbed up in the evenings. So I wanted to come here and drop this today. I've been dropping videos, so make sure you're subscribed. Turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live or drop videos. But today, I just couldn't wait. I wanted to cover this morning. Anytime I feel like that, if I try to come back or try to wait till I do the video, I might lose some inspiration. So I decided to just go live. Do me a favor, as you come in with a H. Shout out to the H Factor monitoring spirits out there. As you're coming in, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, help me ping everybody else into the room. I'm just going to dive right into the content that we have today. Quite a few things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about VeryDarkMan has gotten himself involved in the Mercy Chinwo and Mercy Chinwo versus Eezee story. He's gotten himself involved, he's plugged himself in. It's one of that, or it's either that or Eezee has employed the services of the dark black man into this story. And if you don't know what we're talking about, Mercy Chinwo, she's the young lady, probably arguably the biggest gospel star out of Nigeria. And she's a Nigerian gospel singer, 34 years old. Blew up, absolutely up over the past few years. I guess since 2017, you can say. Mercy Chinwo. She's known for the song Excess Love in collaboration with some American artists. Big songs, big things. She's featured on The Experience and many of the biggest gospel stages around the world. If you're hearing honk, it's okay. I did New York City. It's like the little sister to Lagos. So alright, so that's who Mercy Chinwo is. Let me show you who Mercy Chinwo is, just in case you're wondering what that is. She's a gospel star. So in recent times, she's been dragging it out with a former label boss, you can call it label boss, manager, record label. In fact, I saw some pictures of them hanging out, chilling, being brothers and sisters over the past few years. Everything seemed okay until it's no longer okay, but that's what happens. That's Mercy Chinwo right there. Okay, so they've been dragging it out. Bottom line is that we know what's going on, but there's a lot of speculation around who is wrong. They have two contracts, or they have contracts, a record label contract, 2-in-1, 50-50 contract on both sides of performing royalties as well as streaming your royalties. So she makes money when she performs out there. She's supposed to disburse some money back to the label, and for the label is supposed to monitor all the streaming income from Spotify, from YouTube, from Apple, and make sure she gets 50%. Because she's gone absolutely viral over the past few years, of course there's a lot more money. It's a lot of money coming from. So they had a altercation, I guess they had a disagreement, and apparently she wasn't sending money back to the label from the performances she was doing out there, all the gigs she was taking, and the label decided to send a letter and to say, hey, if you're not going to disburse money, we're going to seize your royalties. So we kind of know that information already, but somehow this morning VeryDarkMan is acting like he's telling us that newly. The only thing that VeryDarkMan is bringing to the table that's new is his personality, there are and his own speculations. Okay, and it's very possible that Eezee thinks that VeryDarkMan is going to help him. I'm not sure why he would think that. He must be really, really dumb. But anyway, VeryDarkMan has plugged himself in, and he is a self-proclaimed most integrity man in the world. But let's hear what he has to say about this, and then we'll take it from there. You listening in, if you heard anything new, let me know. The only thing that's new is that VeryDarkMan is plugged in, and his own speculations are plugged in. Listening. Let's see.
If you remember, all right. So if you remember yesterday when I posted about Messi Chinwo, I said I was going to do more investigation and I will come out with my findings. And to be honest, what I have found so far, I am really disappointed in Messi Chinwo and everything she represents. Everything. Disappointed in her and all her team.
All right, so that's a full chest already bias. You know, people are very quick to say, oh, you're biased. You know, your Rattel gang leader is biased. Not only, we don't have to detect it. He's accepting it, right? He's saying it with his full chest. I am disappointed. Never mind what's going on between these two. So let's keep listening though. I'm not going to interrupt again.
All these things they are doing, disguising under the name of gospel and Christianity, is just so sad. Now, I will not be using allegedly in this video because I'll be posting with proof and a lot of evidence in the video. And after this video, if Messi Chinwo feel like VeryDarkMan is lying and they have anything to counter my proof that I'm posting here, they can take me to court. Yes, they can take me to court. But you see this one I won't do, I will not let you people do it. It's not the one where you do because you have a bigger media. I also have media. Yeah, I also have media. So let's start. It is true that a former record label boss, Eezee, seized a royalty for over 1 year. It is true. But why did he do it? Now, unlike her, that they were hiding the dates. If you go back to her video, they were hiding the dates in her videos. Some of the dates, especially when she said the guy took her to court, she hid the dates. I'll provide everything with dates and proof. Now, this is the genesis of the problem. Eezee record label, the record label where Messi Chinwo was signed into, they sent her a letter, an email, and this is the email. This email was sent on the 21st of March 2023. This was where the whole wahala started. Now, this is the heading of the letter. Notice of breach of contract and infringement of copyrights against Messi Chinwo.
So again, we already knew that there was an email. You know, there's nothing. Hey, Natu, how you doing? Good morning. Good afternoon, where you are. Anyway, so we already knew that there was an email. The only thing we didn't care to look at is was the details of the email. But he already told us. Remember, the first person that started talking very loudly was Eezee. That's just facts, okay? So there's nothing new again, but I guess it's good to tell us something new in the email. Let's see.
Now I'll go straight to the important part where inside the email it says to Messi Chinwo now, kindly note herewith that we have raised the issue of no communication and non-remittance of money from performance at various events, which was intentionally boycotted to your personal account against the agreed provided organizational accounts. On our email to you on the 12th of April 2022, consequently, all royalties due to you were paid to you in full. However, royalties for streams of content and distributed on virtual platform was paid till the first quarter of 2022, being received and paid quarterly as agreed and reported. Further to this, you were informed through our mutual pastor, Reverend Temple Odoko, of the fact that your royalties from virtual stream from second quarter of 2022 will be retained until you take step to repair this breach, and adequate reconciliation is done in the interest of all parties. Based on the foregoing, your exploitation of the song, composition, and musical work production without prior authorization from us is an infringement. Now, it is self-explanatory. So what happened was that Messi Chinwo was going behind the record label to go and collect shows. She was collecting gigs and she was not remitting money to the record label.
I have to admit and acknowledge that we haven't spent a lot of time highlighting that for whatever reasons, your guess is as good as mine, right? For whatever reasons, she was accepting gigs outside of her manager, right? But what could be those reasons? Could it be because they lied? They haven't been given her jobs? This is her story, right? It doesn't mean it's true, but she's accused them that they've been giving other people jobs, that they would take jobs and would not tell her about it, and then she had to show up to one where they had lied that she had terminal disease. So no, we haven't really spent a lot of time highlighting that she got jobs while she was still signed to the record label. But then I've also heard other accounts that she did that her contract was expiring or it had expired, right? But the guy is saying she owes her another album. But again, okay, they have the fact here that they had a disagreement, right? And they said, okay, you can take your own jobs and supposed to disburse money back, and she was managing herself and paying her. So nothing new really. There's nothing new so far. Let's keep listening to the Rattel gang leader here.
She was collecting money, going for different shows behind the record label and behind the agreement. And when the record label found out, they sent her this email, and it is self-explanatory that they will hold her royalties until they come together and sit down and go back to what is on the drawing board. Because why are you going back outside the record label to make money for your own self? It is written there. It was an email sent to her. If she says it's a lie, she can sue me too, because this is evidence number one. So this one, she's saying that this is a reality, they are trying to oppress her and blah blah blah. Lies! Lies from the pit of hell. Lies. Lies. Now when this happened, the thing became a problem. Now, when the record label now collected money from different people that Mercy Chinwo will come and perform, Mercy Chinwo now refused, which made them started refunding money to different people, like some churches in Gambia and different churches. She was now having conflict with the record label boss Eezee. This is the genesis of the problem, which I just presented evidence number one. Not knowing that Mercy Chinwo had now written a petition with EFCC that this guy tried to take away a royalty forcefully. And you see we have another problem there. And this is the part she did not say. And like I said, she can come and say VeryDarkMan is lying, and they can bring lawsuits. Our lawyers can send me a lawsuit. I have my proof. Now this is where it got crazy. From nowhere, they blocked the guy's account. All his accounts in Nigeria, it was frozen by EFCC. They froze his account. They now sent him invitation to come to EFCC office. And then the guy said, why am I coming to EFCC office? This thing is a civil dispute. We can settle this thing together. It's simple. Mercy Chinwo was going behind the label to make money without remitting to the label. As simple as ABCD. Let her come. Then we'll balance this thing. Then everybody goes. But EFCC insisted that he comes. And that was how they left EFCC in Lagos, where the both of them were staying. They now took the case to Ilorin. They took the case to Ilorin. Now, when the guy got to Ilorin, I'll get the specific date. He got to Ilorin on the 24th of April. That was when he got to Ilorin. Immediately he got to Ilorin, he was detained in Ilorin. They detained him that he was trying to scam Mercy Chinwo. Now, when they brought out the petition, it was Mercy Chinwo and Judy K that wrote the petition. Are you getting the point? Now, they sat down. They now told the guy to write statements. I will call the IPO's name, make it not be as if they hide anything. The name of the IPO is Stanley Ojilobo of EFCC in Ilorin, which this case must be investigated further. Now, Stanley Ojilobo of EFCC was now
So sorry, I was talking to myself. So if you remember a few days ago, Eezee agreed to not talk to. He agreed with Dr. Akintayo. Let me play this video for you. I'll play this video for you. He agreed to not. He agreed to not talk to media so that they can try to settle this issue. And if you remember, I said, "Oh, good, you know." Let me play this video for you. Listen.
Mandated to be here because I should honor this invite from Doctor, and then also someone that I respect a lot had said to me, Coach Nancy, you know, I said, Eezee, you have to honor Doctor and at least listen to him, so that we can find ways to have this resolved.
So kudos to him. It's just that I think so of course he couldn't wait. So he's been talking to VeryDarkMan. Maybe he had been talking to VeryDarkMan before, but good luck. Good luck, right?
Forcing Eezee.
Let's keep listening to VeryDarkMan.
That he must write statements of what him, Stanley, the IPO, is telling him to write. That was where another problem started. Then the Eezee guy said he was not going to write. That was why they kept him there for 9 days under the supervision and under the idea and petition of Mercy Chinwo. They moved the guy from Lagos, come for a meeting, they detained him there and forced him to write statements that they want. Now the case started going, and at the end of the day, the guy broke. The guy could no longer continue the wahala with them. He said, okay, I will give her the royalty. Do you understand? They calculated the money. It was $274,000. The guy said, I'm ready to pay. Do you understand? But Mercy Chinwo should also bring the money that she collected behind us. Then we will do counter and balancing. Do you understand? That was how Mercy Chinwo said, the money that she made behind the record label was this. This is the money Mercy Chinwo paid, as you can see. Mercy Chinwo paid the sum of $3,500 to the guy. See, the date is there. 26/4/2024. The guy was released. They arrested him on the I don't write everything down. They arrested him on the it was arrested on the 16th. On the 16th and was released on the 24th. So immediately after that, Mercy Chinwo now paid $3,500. That is what she made from going behind the record label to make money. The guy said no, he's not going to agree. That they should do an audit on Mercy Chinwo's account. Mercy Chinwo refused. But the man was under duress. Eezee was under duress. So they forced him that he must transfer that money. But his account was locked. So EFCC, under the supervision of Stanley, the IPO, now told him that, okay, you know what? Let's go. We'll go and release your accounts. When we open it, you must do that transfer today. And that was how they went to the bank and the guy do the transfer in splits. And as you can see, proof there my screen, oh, as you can see.
So we already know that he transferred he admitted to owing $274,000 and transferred the money. Do you really want to hear VeryDarkMan tell us the breakdown of how that was done? No, I know you don't mind. Let's just listen to him. He's going to tell us nothing new, just the breakdown of how $274,000 that was owed to her was sent back to her. And then he already told us she gave $2,500 because that's what they agreed to so he can get released. Okay, there will be more of this story that will come out. To me, I'm not saying Mercy Chinwo is innocent. Absolutely not. There's no way. But again, these are business. It just looks like he was doing bad business. It's as simple as that. Okay, he was doing bad business and he came back and hunt him down because that's the monster he built. At the end of the day, he keeps talking about the church did this, like, okay, there's the right and the wrong time to accuse the church. This one is one of those wrong times. He needs to be accountable to his own business dealings. That's what needs to happen. Okay, I think VeryDarkMan is going to explain why, give their own explanation why they have another contract with the council that, I mean, you signed the contract, you changed the date. Maybe you do that when you're naive and you don't know any better, but you know that can come back and haunt you if you don't have that endorsed properly. That's change. But anyway, let's keep going. He's going to tell us more.
200.
I promise, nothing new, okay?
$1,000 was sent to Nanda Mercy Chinwo on the 15th of May 2024. He sent the first installment of $200,000 for somebody where contact say for the benefit of the body of Christ. Benefit of body of Christ, now you don't make $200,000. All right, now this is another payment of $40,000 because they had to break it. They said you cannot do that transfer once in the bank. This was on the 16th. He added $40,000, making $240,000. Then the final completion of $34,000. So everything accumulated. So no, he did two the first time, 200,000 and 34,000. Then finally did 40,000, making $274,000. But here's the crazy part: he didn't stop there. Now they now held him again and told the guy that he must give them the catalog after they collected all this money. And the guy said no. The catalog cannot be given to you guys. First, you held me under duress. Secondly, you called me. First of all, you called me for a meeting at EFCC. You took me all the way and brought me here to Ilorin, where we know our own people. You held me under duress to the point where you forced me, even though Mercy Chinwo breach contract, you forced me to give you people $274,000, which I've done. Now you are coming to tell me to give you the whole catalog on my 100% investment. That being said, I asked, I said, where did you meet Mercy Chinwo? Like I said, Mercy Chinwo can come and say VeryDarkMan is lying. This guy said he met Mercy Chinwo.
Wait. Before we go too far, okay? Have we seen any documentation of a lawsuit for catalog from Mercy Chinwo? Because that's what would matter. Because at this point, it's hearsay. This is what he said. He said they just want, he's made the accusation, they just want catalog. But is there a lawsuit to that effect? Is there anything in black and white to that effect? Are they suing for catalog? I mean, this is just purely about the arrears that he owes in royalties. See, again, when you get emotional, but you are very quick to accuse other people of emotionalism, it gets interesting. Where is the paperwork that says that they sued for catalog? Is it possible they've asked for catalog? Yes, they can ask for catalog. They can negotiate catalog. They can say, hey, I'm buying back my catalog. They can say, hey, go and bring this amount of money, is catalog. Yes, now we know that the record label owns the catalog. That's what they invested in, right? But this accusation that they keep asking for catalog, is that written in black and white somewhere? Maybe I missed it. It's very possible that I missed it. So those of you that are following the story, please do let me know if I missed that somewhere. Because at this point, there is no proof of that anywhere. I haven't seen it. Let's keep going.
In 2012, before Mercy Chinwo went to Nigerian Idol, that they were all a supporting system for the idols. And after she scaled through with the idols, after she made some small money, she ran away. Then she came back in 2017 when she no longer had money and started begging Eezee that Eezee should sign her. Eezee said he told her that I cannot sign you. I have already seen the kind of person that you are when you have money. We all supported you for the Nigerian Idols. We gathered money to vote you. We were your backup for the musical part. When you made the money, you ran away. Now, after 2012, you're coming back after 5 years in 2017 to say I should sign you. And this was the period where Eezee was managing Frank Edwards and some other big stars. So she came, Mercy Chinwo came, knelt down and begged him. Mercy Chinwo can say it's a lie. There are witnesses to this. That was how Eezee now brought Mercy Chinwo in. And that was how they now signed. Now, my investigation, according to that signing, that letter that their Mercy Chinwo said it was forged. Now, see how it happened. In 2017, they did a 5 years contract, but they didn't write it on a paper.
There's a problem here. You can't say I wish I knew and I wouldn't have signed you. Okay. I hesitated when I wanted to sign you. Okay. You signed her. It's one of probably the best decisions you've ever made in your life. But you're coming back to say, oh, this is what you did when you did that. I hesitated. You went away to Port Harcourt and then you ran back after you had spent money. I knew. No, the only thing you can do here is regret, Baba. If you want to do Abamo, please, you can regret by all means, but it has nothing to do with the case. Again, who is the one doing the most emotions here? The one that seems like is doing the most emotions is the fact that she cried in a split of a 2 minutes span throughout this whole saga. But who is doing the most emotions here? You're bringing up stuff from like before you signed her. After you signed her, she's the biggest star on your platform. That has nothing, like it has nothing to do with nothing. Are you owing her money? We know that for a fact. It's a yes. Did she owe you money? We know that for a fact. Yes, you agreed to some amount, $2,500. And she sent that to you. But you're still doing this shalaye back and forth. Now you've ended up with VeryDarkMan. I told you guys when I first covered this story, I said, listen, Eezee to go shalaye tired. It's not going to give up.
We go explain because no evidence.
This is who he is, and he's probably done worse behind the scenes. Mercy Chinwo is right. Okay, it's bad business dealings. When you involve too much emotions in your business dealings, especially in the Nigerian society, you would drag people. You would think you can just use jungle justice method, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. You would think you would. There was one kid that's on the internet right now on Instagram saying that he got slapped 4 times because he spoke in tongues on stage. Is that not believable? It's believable now. Was I there? No, I wasn't there, but that's believable. If you want us to go with our emotions, all of us can choose what we want to believe. What do we have in black and white is the question. There's no lawsuit for catalog in black and white because that would be impossible. If you want your catalog, you need to go and negotiate.
Because the record label was still growing. Then in 2019, when the record label have gotten base, Mercy Chinwo had already done the blow, they go far. That was when they now decided to put it on paper. So they printed the paper for 2019. Then he now said, wait, we started this contract in 2015. If you signed in 2019, 5 years with 2019, it means you have served me for 7 years. So what is it is, we'll write 2017 so that you just serve for 5 years instead of 7 years, which they agreed. So they changed the 9 to 7. That's when Mercy Chinwo was saying that. Forgery. They changed the 9 to 7.
So let me say this. So they changed the dates. I'll stop muting myself so I don't make this mistake again. So they changed the date on a contract because they agreed verbally to something. Does that make any sense? And then 5 years later, you are saying that they're accusing you of forgery. Yes, you can be accused of forgery. That's why you don't change the date on a contract. You don't scrabble it out based off of a verbal agreement. The agreement is the paper. You change it, you scratch it out, and the person didn't sign to some kind of addendum for changing the date. Does that make any sense? The only way that will make sense is if you admit that you were stupid to do something like that. You have to admit that you were stupid, Eezee, to do something like that. Okay? Is stupid too harsh? Well, we're talking with the Rattel gang now. Let's use the harsh language. You have to admit first, like, you know what? I was stupid. I should have made her sign another addendum to that effect. Not squash out, not be squashed. What's the word? Not scratching out date on the whole contract. Contract that's worth millions of dollars. You're scratching out dates, and then you come back 5 years later to say, oh, they're accusing me of forgery. Rightfully so, because you were stupid. Like, I'm supposed to remember why you scratched out dates? I told you it's bad business dealings. Bad business dealings is not equivalent of innocence, or what do you call it, bad intentions. Okay, I don't know if he had bad intentions or not. What I can tell you is that he's terrible when it comes to why things work the way, how this world works. I think he just jammed money by mistake. Who's the money? Mercy Chinwo, and what's his name, the other gentleman, the short one, and Judy K, and the other gentleman, the short one, Frank Edward. I think he's just jammed it by mistake. This guy has no business argument whatsoever. You scratched out a date on a contract based off of verbal contract. What makes sense now, right? So who's gonna help him make sense of this? VeryDarkMan. All right, let's continue.
And Mercy Chinwo signed with witnesses around, and the Eezee also signed. So that thing was not forgery. So I was right before my investigation.
All right, so where she signed, is that the signature now? Because again, I don't see the full document. I want to leave some room for benefit of a doubt here. Maybe she was signing on top of the date change. Some people do that. They might initiate the date change, right? Maybe there's another spot. If I see the full document and there's another spot on the document for actual signature, and she's just signing off on the date change, yeah, because we can ask her, like, why did you sign that spot? Because you already signed the document. Why did you sign it? We can say that. So I'll leave the benefit of a doubt to that one. But he didn't say that either, so I don't know. You know, let's keep going.
You still not the see. Now you are coming out to say, oh, he bullied you, he oppressed you. Well, it's the other way around. Now this is where it got crazy. I don't save all their names. I don't save their names. Wait till be the name of the pastor. Now, Eezee said one day, Apostle Aslem Maduboko of Revival Assembly called him and said, come. When he came, he said, I want you to give Mercy Chinwo the catalog. That was where there's a problem. So all this one when she did here, they thought, say, I have God, you have bloggers. You have God and fathers, actually. My instincts know they lie. I saw that video, I knew something was up. I saw the video and I knew something was up. Nigerians don't investigate nothing.
I think being real George did a fantastic job analyzing. We're not investigators, Baba. Okay, and you're not investigator either. You're not. Okay, the only thing you're doing is sitting at home googling stuff. That's all you're doing. All right, and then you also have the privilege of a lot of people naive enough to think they can call you and somehow you do something special. Nothing much is going to happen, you know. There's no investigation going on from VeryDarkMan. Okay, nothing special. The only thing we can do as content creators is maybe do an analysis here and there. It's going to be laced with our biases. That's just default. It's just that when some people sit on a high horse thinking they're not biased, that's when we call it out. But no, it's not going to do any investigation. Nothing special here. It's telling us something we already knew in a very dark man way. You know, in a very myopic, like, oh, you just lying, you know, gra. They have to go to court. We've said that from day one. Allow the court to do what they do. Yeah, the courts in their local jurisdiction. Okay, why did they go to Ilorin? Only them know. Maybe they felt threatened by the people in Lagos too. It's Nigeria we're talking about. Maybe he's bought out everybody in Lagos too, because he's supposed to be a powerful guy. He got rich in the last 5 years, so he's suddenly a powerful guy. You know, VeryDarkMan got rich in the last 1 year. He's suddenly a powerful guy. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with here.
Not be juju be that.
So until we see the full everything, like what does the court say, they need to go to court. That's the bottom line here. And I don't think Eezee is smart enough to know that you need to stick to using the courts, and the best they can get, anything that can be better than the court has to be through maybe Dr. Akintayo also. You know, something that's amicable, something everybody stay calm, something that people are willing to forgive and say, okay, all right, we went way over the top. We blew things out of proportion. But this guy is just going to help you blow things more out of proportion. There's no going to VDM and coming back with forgiveness. It's not going to happen. You release all the documents to this guy. He doesn't know how to analyze the documents he's looking at. I am convinced. Anyway, let's keep listening.
Nothing. So what is going on now is that they are trying to force Eezee to give them catalog, which is not supposed to be. And then,
is that written down anywhere? I'm asking again. Oh, do we see any black and white of any of that claim? It's a claim at this point, right? It's a claim at this point. It's all speculation, and he's helping them blow this speculation out of control.
and when she saw that the guy was not buying into pressure, they threatened the guy. They tried to oppress the guy by taking him from Lagos to EFCC in Ilorin, detaining him for almost 9 days. They didn't stop there. Under duress, they made him remove money from his account and pay her, even though she also refused to bring her own side of the bargain. She refused to let them audit her accounts to be sure that she actually collected money from all those people. She now claimed that it was just $3,500. So why did you go and collect $3,500 behind $3,500 behind your record label if you were not trying to be like this? And because the guy refused to give you people a catalog, you change everything around. You come online, they cry. He hates Pastor Jerry Eezee. He hates Pastor Jerry. All lies! All lies! All lies. Now let me tell you.
Now, VeryDarkMan is going to come back and say they are always accusing him of hating women. You know, because again, I don't know what analysis he did right now. From day one, he already said the way this woman is crying and stuff like that. She has the right to cry. And guess who else has the right to cry? Guess now, you guys guess. Guess who has Eezee has the right to cry if he wants to, as a man on the internet. He has the right to cry now. Nobody's stopping him from crying. If he wants to be a woman, sure, cry on the internet. Just because somebody cry is not enough to discount their story. It's just not enough. Okay? If I'm listening to Eezee and I'm saying this guy sounds manipulative, it's because of what he specifically said and the way he's structuring his sentence and bringing a church into it and bringing Christianity into it when they are in fact not relevant. We're talking about business. He's claiming he's the one talking about business, but he's actively manipulating. And he tried to manipulate for a few days before Mercy Chinwo will release any statement at all. She released a statement and of course she talked. Of course she cried. But of course, VeryDarkMan is now calling it crocodile tears. Sure. But just because she cried as a woman who feels like she's been dragged through this internet mods, her child has been dragged, that's not enough for me to call it out that is a lie. Okay? Could she be manipulating with the crying? Yes. But it's just not enough. That's all I'm saying.
We sum this video like this, right? You see this matter? Me, I go follow Eezee Dragamu. Yes, so. Yes, so.
He will follow Eezee drag this matter after Dr. Akintayo said. So Dr. Akintayo now, he'll be like, you know, that guy is, you know, dark skin, melanin, popping, white agbada. You think he's going to mess with this? He will just leave you to the court will drag you. You know, there are too many powerful people that love Mercy Chinwo too. So if you want to go the route of emotionalism all the way, she probably has influence too. She probably have bigger influence now. It's like a Wizkid versus, shout out to Banky W, no offense, right? You know, so some people are gonna learn taking their matters. They're gonna learn the hard way, taking their matters to VeryDarkMan. The highest integrity man in Nigeria. Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
You have the media, I also have the media. But yes, what is crazy? My media is stronger because VeryDarkMan does not lie. You can't pay VeryDarkMan any money. And VeryDarkMan have integrity.
Oh man, that's my money life right there. You guys notice?
Stop the cap.
Abba.
Apa je lie. Tapi lie.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Pikili, arugbo jẹ gbèsè, ta ni ó san. Let's keep listening to the Rattel gang leader.
There's no Jupiter that will come and say I paid very dark. All right, so
he posted that yesterday, and that was the end of it. But there's another clip here that's released this morning. Apparently, YouTube pulled the video down, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. So as you can see, I posted here. He doesn't let anybody post comments on this video, by the way. I don't know if it's cowardice. He just blocks out the content section. So I was surprised when I noticed that he has this opened up. But you know, to be honest with, anytime he opens it up, he has a lot of blind Rattel gang followers that just kiss up to him. So he doesn't need to be afraid. He can just let us leave comments, you know, that's okay. Anyway, so you can see me here. Say there is no, follow me on Instagram, by the way, man of prestige __ on Instagram. So there's no new information here, just your speculation and the fact that Eezee think you can help. This is my laugh in Swahili. My morning laugh in Swahili. He said, you never watch, you don't comment. This is why I lock my comment section. Okay, so this is his reason for locking comment section. Anyways, to the critical thinker out there, we were right. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Critical thinker, bah. Anyways, people who have manipulative tendencies, let me see, will never love you, VDM. Those who live a lie will never love you. You will annoy them so much that they don't want to ever give a second to reason. Your IQ is so high. I'm done. I'm so done. Yeah, it's women. I'm done. Anyway, you will find women there. Whatever is going on, you know, you'll find women there. Let's see. I love Mercy songs. I dance to it a lot, but that video was an act. I knew it deep down. You just cleared my doubts. There is even more to unravel, deeper. If you listen to the way I've been talking about VeryDarkMan, there's a certain level of loyalty in my tone to him, man to man, as in like I'm always open to disagree. In fact, if I have time right now, there's another story I'll cover of my brother Clayton, who I've had here as a guest. I disagree with him fundamentally. We used to hang out on Clubhouse. I disagree, but there's a certain level of loyalty that women just tend to lack between themselves, you know. But it's okay. It's not a gender warrior. I'm just something I just noticed, you know. You just have doubt. A woman is crying because she said she got dragged out of $250,000, and then you're like, you have doubts. Oh, buddy. Oh boy, don't be me go support you now for now. Let me just warn you, women, anything I say here, you guys do the same thing, multiply by 10,000 times on your own side. It's just that men are terrible at it. A man acting in this feminine energy is just not, it doesn't always come out right. It just comes out completely negative, you know. Shout out to Samuel Ukiwe. Say Mercy Chinwo don't buy VDM market. Eezee buy VDM market. Eezee. Good afternoon, babes. Good afternoon. Anyway, so still reading the comments here. Let's see. Let's have it. Oh, I didn't know I kept playing this. Let's see. Oh, hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I forgot to share the live to Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter as well. My Twitter account is man_of_prestige_ on Twitter, on the X. All right, good. So let me close this out before we block out these pages. All right, so there's another person here. Rita is okay. Rita Edoche. Rita Edoche says, it's always good and fair to be sure of things before jumping into it. I don't ever doubt my son's instincts and integrity. For the fact I saw Mercy's post and felt bad and commented as my normal way, and I quote, "It is well with you, my daughter. God Almighty is with you." This was before the record label's guy's interview and before my son's post. Who is your son? Rita Edoche. I always knew there's something about this auntie. Someone tagged me on my comment, first insulted VDM, asked me to him, and went further to ask me which side I did, VDM or Mercy. I was confused though. Under the post, some told her straight VDM. Trust me, I replied immediately by telling her that you must not insult someone by trying to prove who you support or not. Now things are unfolding. Anyway, VDM, you're doing well. Keep it. VDM literally just sat. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave. Rita Edoche, you know, look at me. Let me show you. Yeah, auntie. Oh, I'm always looking at that auntie sideways. You know, she supports May, Queen May Edoche, obviously, because she's fighting for fairness. People that fight for fairness are they have very limited, you know, because again, they can only see from one angle. They're actually the one that played emotionalism the most, because as soon as they see something that they feel is unfair, they don't listen to the other side of the story. You know how people always ask me for other side of the story? It was actually them. Once they feel like somebody is oppressed, that's it. They go straight into decision mode and they make their decision, you know. So maybe I will do a whole masterclass on how on this whole thing about fair and unfair, because we should be fair. It's not just me saying don't be fair. It's about, if you're narrow-minded and you're fighting fairness, there's a good chance you're going to self-sabotage. Always. Okay, there's a good chance that there's a blind spot. You're going to have a massive blind spot you won't see if this is just how you see life. You know, it's a mindset, it's an outlook on life, and it's especially when they're very loud about, they just tend to fight fairness. Like, no, you don't fight fairness. You don't have enough to pay attention to what is actually fair or not. But anyway, never seen a man that helped a woman and smile at the end. Women, you all can do better. This is what this person interprets from this. Don't help Mercy Chinwo. You helped Mercy Chinwo and now you are regretting it. Never mind all the millions of dollars you've collected from helping Mercy Chinwo. We just happen to have disagreements now, so it is the end of the world, right? You're doing business with women, you don't have the emotional intelligence. You're right, you go collect now. Of course, yes, of course. Before, of course, she go show you shege. Why? Whose fault? Yours.
Sorry, yo.
Your fault. Okay, it's still your fault. Especially if you're gonna have a mindset because I help a woman. That mindset, yeah, you don't miss road now already. So you now want me to join you and say it's the woman's fault? No, I'm sorry. No. You have to hold yourself accountable for that. Now, wow, fear of women of gospel. I too, I was just playing the video Obìnrin and people are now confused. Like, wait, you just said Obìnrin. I was like, Obìnrin is not your mate now. That's not to accuse them of anything. It's just to say they're not your mate. If you lack emotional intelligence, you will collect when you're dealing with women. That's the point I'm making. Oh, let's see. They better come together and say, okay, anyway. So VeryDarkMan came back and said this morning. I'm going to play this real quick. This one. This is the
Mercy Chinwo and our crew. Instead of this one you people are trying to do now, why can't you counter me with your own evidence? So I just woke up this morning and this is what I saw. The video I posted yesterday have been removed.
Did he post any evidence? Is it me? I just played the whole video. Was there any evidence in that except a place where she signed and there's a change of date? What evidence did he post? Screenshot of the money he wired that we already know. Breakdown of all the 40,000, 34,000. We knew that he sent $274,000 to her. What screenshot is he talking about? You see, you don't block the comment area again.
They don't remove her from YouTube. As you can see, remove.
Sometimes people will say, oh, you're deleting comment. Me delete comment. No, I don't delete comment. They censor your comments. YouTube by themselves, if you have inflammatory stuff, they will censor it. Sometimes I'll go into where they put the spam stuff, 6 months, and I will see some abusive stuff. Like, you know, I don't know. But I think it's cowardice to lock up your comment section. I think it is. In social media era, you're locking up, I think it's pretty cowardice, if anything.
This video was removed from YouTube.
I'm not accusing VDM of being coward though. I said cowardice is ice. I'm just saying, like, why? Face your opinion with your full chest now. Let's leave comments.
Only you can see this video. Normally, YouTube will give you reason. This one, they just remove and means a person where the connection don't do it. So they basically try to hide evidence. As they don't say, okay, evidence did this video.
So we are admitting that Mercy Chinwo is that powerful, and then you want to use VDM. I thought VDM has his own media to fight Mercy Chinwo. Are we backing off of that now? With our own mouth? Is that what's going on? I'm asking though, because I thought, hey, I have my own media too. I'll go join Eezee to drag this. But now you're accusing her of pulling down your video. Because is she that powerful? Maybe she is. Maybe you should pay attention to power moves, power dynamics, understand how it works, and stop fighting this myopic, narrow-minded fairness thing that you're always fighting. Understand how life works first before you fight fairness. Is he admitting that Mercy Chinwo is much that powerful right now?
Won't remove her. Next thing now, maybe they'll target my Facebook and they'll target my Instagram. It's just crazy for somebody who talk say, I have God, you have bloggers. But you see this one I want to do now, I go post more evidence.
It could actually be Mercy Chinwo's followers that flagged your video. They said, this guy, I beg. It's very possible. It's also possible that she's like, you know what, I'll silence your ass. You remember guys, if you proceed family, we cover Andrew Tate here, Kanye West here, became a non-billionaire overnight. We cover so many people that they start moving mad, and before you know it, they act like they have a media platform. They shut them down, they silence them. Is that a good thing? No, it's not a good thing though. You know, it's not a good thing on the surface level, but there's more to that. That's something we can discuss later on.
I will post another one now. I'll post my evidence for this video.
Yeah, I'll post them now.
Before I post this evidence, right? So all those people when they talk say, hey, VeryDarkMan, you did not listen to Miss Chinwo, you just listen to one side of the story. No. Have you guys forgotten so soon? Now Miss Chinwo first narrates the whole thing, post video. Say the guy sees a royalty, the guy tried to oppress her, the guy tell her say go in that career.
Actually, it was him that went out there and started telling narrative. Remember that there were 2 channel TV interviews before Mercy Chinwo said a word, before she made a statement. Which part of the story is he paying attention to?
The guy no like Jerry Eezee. The guy paid bloggers to talk say a child no be a child. The guy paid bloggers.
And does he like Jerry Eezee? See, everybody is playing the emotional game with themselves now. She cried. You came to manipulate the rest of the internet, including VDM. Okay, to get to the now. It's equal. It's fair. It's already fair. In love and war, all is fair. Go to court. These are business dealings. These are contracts. Go to court. Use the mediation they provide to you at court if you can afford one. He can afford one in Nigeria. He has lawyers on his payroll. Go to court. Is VDM your lawyer? Now you're Agbejeru.
Now she can't narrate her own story, but she didn't put evidence. But the only thing where she no talk say they carry the guy go in Ilorin, go detain her for more than a week. She no talk say
is CFCC office not in Ilorin? What does that have to do with the fact of the matter? As outside of, he's just telling his own side of the story. He has his own valid story. They took me to Ilorin and they punished me. I'm like, okay, he has a lawsuit for human rights against the EFCC and Mercy Chinwo. Let the court do the needful.
This royalty where she dey cry for, she don already collect the money, over $274,000. She did not say it. But she do all those things, make it be as if the guy is a bad person. You know why? Because they won't collect the catalog. They won't try to emotionally manipulate people.
They want to collect the catalog on the very next sentence is they want to emotionally manipulate people. Oh my God.
How did Juju be that?
The person that's emotionally manipulating people is accusing people of emotionally manipulating people.
You be mumu.
Oh God.
You think say they wise?
People, so that people go hate on the guy. Now evidence don't do it. I don't try to look for a way to bring them down.
This is why you let the court, because me, I use the same word. I call you a narcissist. You call me a narcissist. I call you a narcissist. You call me a narcissist. We don't go get anywhere. Let the courts do the needful. Easy T, this was a wrong move. This guy gonna make a mess of your very elegant company that you were building jejely. You built an artist. She wants out. She wants to go. Sure, let her out. She want catalog. Tell her to go to court. I be go and negotiate. Keep it clean. But you no go understand. You think you are wiser than the Tony Elumelus, than the Dangotes, than even the Tino. You think you are wiser than them because you are not the oppressor. These are your problems. Now you're going to do jungle justice and make a mess of yourself and the company that you built from scratch. This is stupid.
No, I go post more. Now, this is another letter. As you can see, immediately Ezekiel, a former record label boss, immediately they left him after EFCC don't detain him, after they don't force him to pay out $274,000, even though the guy did on the right, by telling them, say, we have the contract. She breached the contract.
When somebody breach a contract, you go to court. You don't go to VDM. If you're a regular nobody person, please go to VDM. Okay? If you're poor, you're in the middle of the streets in Abuja, just go into VDM's DM, please, by all means. If you're Easy T, this is a stupid move. This is such a stupid move. The only thing you should be doing with VDM is giving him 100,000 naira to go and help build some schools. This is very stupid.
Was going behind the record label to make money, and she was not remitting to the record label account, which is not supposed to be. That was why we sent her an email and we told her that, wait, oh, madam, for this thing you are doing, we will hold your royalty. Then when you are ready, you will come, then you give us the money that you have made outside the record label. That was the only problem. So this guy showed them these things and they still insisted that he must give her money.
We go explain.
So at the end of the day,
because no evidence.
Yeah, there's no evidence to anything he's saying. It's just me say hi, say everything that Easy T has been saying. This is just a louder, nastier voice. That's all.
he gave her $274,000, and then she now said, the money that she made behind the record label is $3,500. Why were you going behind the record label to make $3,500?
No, that's 50% of it. That's the money she made behind the record label. That's 50% of it, not the money she made behind her, and she disbursed that money.
$500.
And then they cried on each other's shoulder. Shout out to Sir T. Pastor Tosin Alao said they cried on each other's shoulder on that night. They settled. He agreed. But then he backed out.
If you are clean. Now, immediately after that, the guy went to go and write in court. As you can see, they filed. On the 16th of July 2024, the guy went to court to write in the matter of an application by Ezekiel Oyedikachi, thank God, for the enforcement of his fundamental human rights. Yes, because his right was.
What's yes? What was that yes for? Yes, what? It's a lawsuit for his fundamental human rights against GDK and EFCC. Okay, because he was detained unlawfully. Because he probably went home and said, we show them shaggy. We show them shaggy. And then that's not good enough. Now he needed to employ the services of VDM.
Breach. Why did you take him there? And they detained him and they forced him to pay her money, and they even told.
The only reason why this guy went to VDM is he has no relationships in the industry. That's why nobody is answering to it. That's why nobody is speaking to this. He has no relation. I'm talking about Easy T. Easy T has no relationship. He's basically severed his relationship with bad behavior, bad dealings. That's what this is telling me. Sorry, Jerry. Let me come to the comment real quick. Oh my god. It's crazy. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you. Let me hit the like button. You have to do that when we're doing these live sessions. Babes will say, very local being. Must he talk about everything? He thinks is that important. I mean, I think Eezee has released some documents to him, thinking it's gonna help. You know, so I don't even know if I should blame VDM now, because you know the person the person that think VDM is their Bejoro that I'm looking at sideways, like, okay, and you're supposed to be the Eezee Concept CEO. That only tells me you jam money by mistake and you don't know what you're doing. And there are many of them out there. They will have like very quick success, but when they have a slowdown or they have a hiccup, like an artist is doing basketballs, they don't know what to do with themselves. Don Jazzy only did that one time. There was a little small hiccup with him and Wandeko. Immediately retracted it. If you see him and Wandeko right now, you'll never know. Smart guy. The only thing John Jazzy does is give VeryDarkMan money. Anyway, very local being. This guy is sick upstairs. Wala. Mary Jo Ade says, let's see who's gonna learn the hard way in this media space. Mr. VDM, we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. But the person that's learning right now is Eezee, because this is gonna be so messy. He thinks he's lost some of his relationship because all these so-called Christian people. Did that not tell you something when it was on Channels TV? All these so-called Christian people, that's all the people that does not want to deal with him anymore. He was talking to, it wasn't just Mercy Chinwo. He was throwing shots at all these other people. They're supposed to be Christian. They didn't take his side. That's what he was talking about. Did you forget? Go and watch I don't want to play today. Go and watch the Channels TV and listen carefully. Listen carefully. He wasn't talking to just Mercy Chinwo, so-called Christian, all these people. He was talking about quote-unquote godfatherism in Christianity. He's lost his power. At one point, he was being celebrated as the guy behind Mercy Chinwo and the Frank Edwards. But now they're calling out his bluff and his bullshit, and that's what he can't stand. So he's going to find, he said, Christians, so-called Christian, he's hoping that you guys will join forces with him and fight the cabals like Adeboyes and them. Right? That's why Sati came on the internet and started saying, our father of faith, let's not look like this. Let's not like go to court. There's money involved. Irony. He wants to use jungle justice. VDM is here now. It will help him now. Samuel Ikwe says, VDM sounds confident. He might know what VDM sounds like. VDM. I don't know what you mean by confident. Maybe you can tell me more. He sounds like exactly like VDM on any normal day. Confident. What? Confident as how?
That he should write the statement that they want for somebody where they talk to the guy, the oppressor. Now, the guy, it's a case between Ezekiel Yedikachi, thank God, and number one.
Look at the document on the screen. This is what VDM is taught. There's no confidence. There's no extra confidence outside of confidence about stupidity that is always done. That's my opinion, all right? This document on this screen is a lawsuit for human rights violation because he was detained for the $274,000 he's admitted to owing, and he wrote the check. I mean, he wired the money to her because he admitted he was holding to 200. We knew that information. The only thing new here is VDM's involvement, and we're not exactly surprised. And I'm doing this because this is content. Let me be clear about VDM attract content. I'm telling you right now, I'm being honest with you, okay? When you say VDM, VeryDarkMan, the reality is that he has his face for some reason he attracts, and I have to respect that. But it's basically a laughing, joking matter. Do you understand me? I use it obviously to teach, but it's a laughing, joking matter. At best, maybe at best, he will build some schools with the 100 million naira. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm happy for him on that one. Okay, but there's no confidence here. He's just telling us what we already know. If he thinks his human rights were violated, he has the right to file a lawsuit against the EFCC. I know that they probably maltreated him in Ilorin. There's no doubt about that. That's Nigeria. That's the Nigeria they built, because they always think everything is about jungle justice. They built that system for themselves. Let me say it like this: we built that system for ourselves, and unless we hold ourselves accountable and rebuild a new system, and understand that it's a process, so it's going to take some time because it took time to get here, then we're never going to learn anything new. You don't like EFCC, do what you did in NSARS. It's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you time, possibly, hopefully not blood. That's what it takes to build a nation. You want to build new systems, you have to put your head down and build it. But you want to keep doing jungle justice against you and the police, and they will show you who has the biggest power now. So I won't be surprised if Mercy Chinwo actually pulled the video down, but that would be a testament to how much power she has. Probably a bigger power than just having a YouTube channel, maybe. Anyway.
EFCC, Economic and Financial Crime Commission. Michael Eezee, the zonal commander of EFCC in Ilorin. Stanley Ujigu, the investigative officer, the IPO of the case in Ilorin, and Mercy Chinwo, as you can see. Now I will read. A declaration that the invitation and detention of the applicants in the custody cell of the first, second, and third respondents of Ilorin, Kwara State, for 8 days from 16th day of April to 16th day of April 2020.
I'm listening to this for the first time. I'm hoping it will tell me something new. It's just reading the lawsuits that he filed after claiming that they filed lawsuit against him. Come to find out, he was the one that's been filing lawsuits.
4 to 23rd day of April 2024 by the first, second, and third respondents of the connivance and instigation of the fourth respondents over the disputes arising from matters of pure contractual obligation and civil transaction between the applicant's company and the fourth respondents amounts to the gross breach and violation of the fundamental right and of the applicants and enshrined in the section 34,
oh my God,
34 and 35 of the Constitution
oh my
of the
God.
Federal Republic of Nigeria, as you can see.
Oh my God.
So this guy put a case against Mercy Chinwo, EFCC, the IPO,
thank you,
and the zonal chairman of EFCC in Ilorin.
He put a case against them, contrary to what he said at first. Right? He put a case against them, okay? That's also what Mercy said. Like, we didn't put a case against them. He put a case against us. All we're asking for is our money. They signed a petition for their money. The lawsuit was filed by him. He dragged them to court.
So as you can see, there was a conspiracy according to this. For somebody where she talks, say the guy they try to oppress her.
Wait, how does that verify that there's a conspiracy? You see? How does that verify that there's a conspiracy against him? He's the one filing the lawsuit. He's the one claiming there's a conspiracy. Okay, if anything, you can tell us that's what you think. And it's okay to have an opinion. But to say that they don't verify anything. You know, one of the problems on the internet is that people will just bring screenshot and call it evidence, receipts. Like, that's a screenshot. That could be made up. You could literally make up receipts everywhere. Screenshots, conversations, and people will run with it. If you notice very well, if I cover anything that looks like messages or anything like that here, it's because other major bloggers have covered it. And I see lessons beyond just the characters. That's the only way I will cover it. But for me to be making, you will see me say allegedly, you will see me say I don't know. Because I really don't know. You can make up any of this stupid. This document you're looking at the screen can be literally be typed. And I can just tell a sweet story around it. And Nigerians will eat it up like Indomie. It's terrible. Like, come on.
You carry and go that place. Now, a lot of pastors will not talk. A lot of gospel people, they don't go talk.
Why not?
You know why they don't go talk? Because Mercy Chinwo go bring crowd come their church. So if they talk now, they won't spoil business for themselves. More evidence are coming. You will learn. I knew it. You want bloggers? I have God. But it looks like you are the one that have bloggers. Because why is it that immediately you started talking, about this guy. Other people started coming out. They don't come out since. Although, usually, if you talk about somebody, more people will come out. So, yeah, that happens.
Hey.
But then again, I want to see
And that
proof.
happens?
Proof. And why are you people trying to bring down my videos? No, now. Come and counter me and say VeryDarkMan is lying. You all will learn. And you all will learn the hard way. Don't play.
Christians will bring down your video. If you attack their pastors or their gospel artists, they will bring down your shit. I'm just warning you right now. Just in case y'all don't know, they will bring it down. Okay. So I'm trying to see if he posted anything new, but nothing new so far because he posts more evidence, nothing. Okay. But his face talking about this is new and it drags attention. So here we are talking about it. But also, what is the lesson here? Okay, the lesson here is that VeryDarkMan, if you can afford a good lawyer, is probably not your best agbejoro. Please be warned. Let's not be stupid. A shirtless man on the internet can only help other people like that, maybe to make some noise. I'm looking at his page. His page is actually stored at 1.9 million monitoring spirits followers. 1.9 million followers is a lot. Let's not cap. However, I noticed that it's not moving because at some point this old VeryDarkMan thing will expire. Okay, there will be another very white man or something that will come out that will now get popular off of everybody's pain, and then know the principles that make life work. In love and war, all is fair. You should focus on you being fair. Make sure you understand what being fair. Make sure you understand all angles to the issues before you fight for quote-unquote fairness. You notice I still put quote-unquote fairness, right? Because oftentimes people will attract their own reality and they will run cry wolf to the public, trying to manipulate everybody. Is that what Mercy Chinwo is doing? Yes, it's possible. But right now, for what I've seen thus far, is 5-0. 5 to Mercy and 0 to Eezee T. And it was already 3-0 before Mercy said a word. And now it's 5-0. He's losing. Okay? Evident by the fact that he ran to VDM, seemingly. Looks like it. I don't know if he ran to VDM, but how did VDM get all those documents? He's not listening. He's not paying attention to the likes of Dr. Akintayo. Okay? I like Dr. Akintayo because he said, listen, get off social media. Media is a double-edged sword. It will cut you both ways. You have to know what you're doing. You can't just think you can just loud your voice, right? If you're an activist, full-chest activist, please loud your voice. Because clearly, you're fighting against oppressors. But if somebody that's not admitting they're activists, but they're saying they're the highest integrity person in the nation, that's a narcissist, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, I shouldn't diagnose him, but that's narcissistic traits right there. Be careful. Okay, if you don't have anybody you feel like the Jazzy is not going to answer your DMs because so many people, go to VDM's DM. Okay, they've given him money to help you if you don't have money. Okay, so yes, I said it again. If you're a nobody and you feel like somebody's oppressing, you need help, go to VDM's. I think he's very good at that. You know, if you're somebody and you have platforms to protect, please, you can do better. Okay, if you want to help VDM, send him some money so he can help the oppressed. Don't do that. But with that being said, I think there's one more story I should cover. I've got a little bit more time here. I think I should do this now. There's something else I was supposed to be doing, but I think I can squeeze that into some other activities. I want to get back to the story we covered a few days ago. All right, so hang tight, hit the like button, share, subscribe. I want to talk about Dr. Ikena, the young man who passed on sadly over the last 1 week or two that everybody has been talking about. There's a guy, Clayton Udo, who I have encountered personally. I would call him an online acquaintance, possibly a friend. He's a good guy. Just I disagree with him fundamentally on some of this stuff. He's the guy who actually make this story popular, so I'm going to react to his videos. I've had him here as a guest before, and I'll talk more about that in a second. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I'll be right back.
I find it beautiful. Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right. Welcome back. Let me see if I can pull this to the screen. Date modified. Dr. Ikena. All right, so Dr. Ikena was a cardiologist up to a few days ago. Cardiologists are, a specialist doctors, very well respected among his peers. It seems like friends. Well, sadly, he found himself in a basketball type of relationship with a young lady who was Van Laris. Somebody I saw Daddy Freeze pronounce them Van Laris. Van Larry daughter. Van Larry is a guy who went viral in 2023 for putting out 720 names of people he said he had slept with. I saw a post denouncing that and saying he was just joking, was catching cruise. So now nobody believes him because it's a social media cruise grandpa. So the daughter was married to this guy, this doctor that lost his life. He took himself out, actually. Sad story. All right. So, but this was the video that went viral that everybody started talking about it. And this is from my friend Clayton Udo. We also call him Dream Night on Clubhouse. Let me just say this up front. Everything he's saying right now, there are also women that say the equivalent of it on the women's side. Okay? Both sides are wrong. Relationships are complex. Politics are complex. It's never about right and wrong. That's why you see an Obama was be chit-chatting up with Donald Trump at the Carter's burial funeral, right? And it was oh, they are talking before they won't talk. It's not about right and wrong. It's a game, and you have to learn how to play it. And may the best player win always. Okay. And yes, some people will use that to manipulate and destroy others. Okay, but also there's a part of it that I focus on, which is to empower you. And that's why I come from a standpoint of self, power, social, art of seduction. You need to understand that people are in it for a reason. What's in it for me? WIIFM. Value. It's a value system that you need to understand. You give value, okay, but make sure you have enough value to give. Self, power, social, seduction, attraction. Okay, if a person doesn't like you, they don't like you. Respect yourself. Remove yourself. Okay, you can cry small. Maybe they promise you they will like you forever. You can cry to some extent. Remove yourself as fast as humanly possible. It will hurt, but it's only a temporary feeling. It's feelings, attraction, and guess what? Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Right or wrong are often 99% of the time not relevant. Okay, and it's only people that don't know any better, which is most people, sadly, that think these things are about right and wrong. And one of them, unfortunately, is Clayton. So we're going to listen to this video from Clayton. He's talking about the passing away of, and then we're going to debunk some of the things that I disagree with him fundamentally. I disagree with any woman who come into this story and say, you always blame the women. If you say that, I disagree with you fundamentally. If you say things like, oh yeah, it is fair in the courts, child support courts, I disagree with you fundamentally. I say fairness is the wrong angle. But no, if you want to say it's fair and they just know it's wrong too, you're looking at it from your standpoint. Okay, and you're not self-aware enough to notice you're doing that, and I want to call your attention to it. Okay, naturally speaking, because of nature and nurture, right, the child custody battle thing is skewed in favor of women. But is that fair? I think it's fair because there are many things in society that's also skewed in the favor of men. But if you are talking about that one thing and you're not able to admit that child custody is highly unlikely that you will win it, or full custody against a woman, if you don't prove that there's substance abuse or that the environment is unsafe. If you don't have substantial proof for those things, you're not going to win full custody from a woman. Are you mad? Not from a woman who wants the custody. You can get a share custody. That's about it. You can get visitations, right? But you have to prove, right? But guess what? On the flip side, a woman can easily, I want full custody. They will look at the math. They say, let her have the full custody. It's a lot more easier. It just, I don't want to say common sense, but it's not common sense, because if you're a woman, you might not be able to relate to what I just said. But it's just the reality. Is that the rule? That's the rule. Are there exceptions? Yes, there are exceptions. I just told you about the exceptions. Okay? I just told you about exceptions. The exception is substance abuse. It's not a safe environment, and you're able to prove those things. That's just the way it works. And I think it's fair, because again, she's the mother and she wants to take care of her children. You go to work. Well, I want full custody too. Why? Why? Because you want to show her shege? Because I'm also able to say, hey, men that say I just want it because they want to show that woman shege. Because when was the last time you really wanted full custody? Let's be honest. Is it at what point? Was it at the point you realized she doesn't want to do life anymore with you? At what point? So again, let's listen to Clayton. Jum is here just in time. She said, finally made it to Clayton guy. Yes, we're about to start now. Let's listen in.
Good morning. Clayton here, cyber prophet, dedicated to the emancipation of men from verbal, psychological, and mental abuse. Red pill enthusiast.
It's a red pill enthusiast. I'm hearing that for the first time. Somebody said in the chat yesterday that he did say he's a red pill enthusiast. Anybody who will come full chest out and say I'm a red pill enthusiast, there's only so much you can expect from them. Just accept it, okay? They're going to be biased, okay? It's going to be nasty. So brace yourself. Trigger warning. Okay, let's listen in.
And interested in the well-being of men's spiritual well-being too. So we first of all will talk about this individual here. This individual. His name was Ikenna Erine, and Ikenna Erine was a cardiologist. He died on the 26th of January this year by suicide after he went to court and they awarded his ex-wife $15,000 a month in child support.
He said they awarded the wife $15,000 a month in child support. When this story was going viral 2 days ago, I kept asking people, $15,000 a month, Aria. Nobody was able to answer me, but he was the one that started the $15,000 a month rhetoric. The father-in-law of Dr. Ikenna has come out to say and showed some screenshots that is $1,900. Okay, he shows screenshots from a county in Maryland that is $1,900 per month. Which, if there are two children, there's an autistic child with special needs, and there's a guy who's a cardiologist, it's possible. Very, very possible. Okay, now is it possible that he's owing $15,000 in arrears and that's why he's being taken to jail, or there's issues, or he's trying to get her to, like, can you please let go of this $15,000? Somebody said $50,000 is a lot. Listen, let me tell you something. I have somebody personal to me. Okay, he had no income because he's on disability. Okay, he decided to use my address because he was going back and forth between here and Nigeria. He received $19,000 and change. Okay, in the span of a few months. By the time that thing start climbing, the statement says you are owing $19,000 and change. Okay, he ended up going back to court and they dismantled everything. It wasn't around when they filed the judgments. Again, talk to someone. Okay, there are way out of this. Keep talking to people. If they say you're about to go to jail, keep talking to people. Okay, usually you're about to go to jail because you avoided or you ignored it for a while. They're not taking you to jail after 1 month or after one missed payment of $15,000 that you don't have. But anyway, let's keep going. Clayton's going to tell us something different.
There are thousands of cases like this that is happening around the United States and even in Europe. where men are being destroyed by the system on behalf of African women. And this is a classical example. He died, he killed himself actually. He actually
on behalf of African women. So that's your angle. Pay attention.
He shot himself to death by suicide on the 26th of January 2025, a cardiologist. You would think and wonder, well, why did he have to do that? Well, he spent thousands of dollars in legal fees, wasted money, thousands. I mean, I'm talking about a process that impoverishes you. In the end of the story, you go to court, they take all your money. They're going to award the house, of course, to the woman with the children, and they're going to restrict your access to the children. You can only see them every Wednesday, every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, or maybe once a month, as the case may be. Meanwhile, the woman has no respect for you. She's assaulting you. Her whole mission is to bring you down because you're a cardiologist, and that's the only way she can get even with you.
Our whole mission is to bring you down. Someone like Clayton will say, I'm not talking about all, I'm talking about some. Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. There are young, impressionable minds. Some of them are literally children. They're like 19, 20, 21, 21 years old. They haven't gotten over a girlfriend who broke up with them in GSS2. Some of them are naive African men that just enter Yankee and now they're on the edge. So because they've heard enough on that the Freaks platform that this African woman in Nigeria, they will drag you. So they're on the edge. So they always think somebody's out to get them. But yet they still want the Kwekus. It's confusion. Okay? It's confusion at best. Okay? Juju says, emancipation of men, I'm dead. No, don't die. Don't die. Anyway, so there are people like that very vulnerable people that would just say, hey, you imported me, so now you want to drag me, you want to take everything away from me. I imported you, but you are here now, you want to take everything away from me, right? There are men, unfortunately, who move with fear. They don't trust themselves. They are not sure of themselves. They don't believe in their capability of attracting a good woman. Why? Because of something you said on the internet once upon a time, Clayton. I'm not blaming you for it. It's their fault for not having sense. I'm just telling you, if you care about men at all, you might want to back up of just fear-mongering men on the internet. Just telling them that is doom and gloom all day long as they're dealing with African women. And by the way, it's not true. This is a rhetoric that black American men, that goes back and forth between black American people. This wasn't our own stuff until we can relate with one story and then we paint it as everybody's story. Let's keep listening. Does this happen? Yes, it does happen. But the way he's painting, he said, they're after you.
You understand? A lot of people don't understand what's going on in this story or what is going on in this country when it comes to African men. And I'm sure in my last video, you guys were like, he's mad. You understand? So his family has released his obituary. And it's very sad. It's very, very sad. But I can tell you that a lot of men have either had to, when I tell you the stories that men run to Mexico to use the Mexican embassy to escape back to Nigeria, or some run to Canada. I know about 3 or 4 men who ran all the way back to Canada. Or if I'm telling you the story about the ideology that men have stayed in this country and have been rendered useless, 200,000, 300,000, 150,000.
Okay, so somebody posted here 250,000. Somebody put child support arrears, not monthly. There's an impressionable young man in Nigeria right now who think that was a month. They're out to get you. Come back to Nigeria. No, it adds up very quickly if you ignore it. If you're not paying attention to it, if you moved, you change addresses, and you have children somewhere with a woman somewhere, yes, it can add up very quickly. Okay, imagine a child that you haven't spoken to since they were 5 years old, and now they are 15, 13, 12, and you're surprised there's $250,000 bill somewhere, and there's a warrant out for your arrest. Okay, so it's not as simple as, oh, it's just a month. They're just out to get you. Imagine imagine a man who left the house, or who the wife took the children away, right? And it's been 10 years. Imagine what kind of goes happened between them. Just imagine it, right? Right? So can that add up to be $250,000 in arrears and child support over some years. Yes, it can. It can. Is it fair? It's case by case. That's just the system. You need to understand it and make sure it doesn't, make sure Idauba, right? The sword of the government, make sure it doesn't touch you. You can educate yourself on how it works, okay? But what I'm telling you, the way Clayton is painting it, if it was true, it would be a war zone out here. Don't you think there will be a war zone? That would be a bunch of angry men walking around. There will be war. It doesn't make any sense. Just think about it. Because after all we've said, now you still want to come to Yankee if you're in Yankee, if you're in Niger, and you're listening to this story, and it's sensational to you. You still want to come to Yankee. Why? It's a war zone. The picture he's painting is a war zone. Well, let's be honest. It can feel like a war zone for a person going through this. Okay? If you feel like you just wake up one day, a human mind, right? And you suddenly see $25,000 bill in your mailbox, and you haven't spoken to your children in 3 years, about 3 or 4 of those children, it's going to feel like war. So I'm not discounting that feeling. But as men, we need to understand that's feelings. That's feelings. And there are solutions to those things. You go to the court and say, okay, you want to make an arrangement? I can't make an arrangement. I didn't know when this happened, but what can I do? These are your options. Your options, talk to a lawyer. They'll tell you what you need to do. Okay? They'll tell you. The last thing that the government wants to do is take you to jail because of some money you're owing that you will never be able to pay back. No, the best thing they want you to be a productive part of society. And of course, that involves making sure you're not creating children that will end up in the streets. They want you to be responsible for the children you create, regardless of what happened between you and your ex-partner. It's just the way it works. Okay? As the system worked against a lot of people, yes. Okay? It's worked against a lot of people. But just because it worked against you doesn't mean that it's not fair. Those are two different things. Let's keep going.
Money is put on their head by African women. The African women come out on TikTok, Facebook with pictures of them and only the children smiling with the house they took from the man and everything. And there are men who are supporting them. And again, in this whole story, for example, this cardiologist, a guy like this guy, Ikenna, you hear in the church how they will blame the man. They will blame the man on that it has to be something he did.
All right, so it's also blaming the church. I have reasons to believe that Clayton has some issues with the church as well. All right, because he keeps saying the church. I've heard Clayton's story a little bit. I'm not going to tell the story. I don't want to do that. I don't remember if he told me when he was here. But one thing I noticed when he was here on this platform is that he wasn't coming full forth with his full chest. I think he was reading me, and I think they got it wrong when they're reading me. I'm just not biased. I stay in the middle. I stay in the middle because the middle is the only reality here, because men have their plight, women have their plight. When you bring these issues down to case by case, you see that people show themselves shaggy when they end a relationship. It's just what it is, right? Somebody said, let's just marry a kind person. I said, well, they thought they were kind, and they thought the kindness that they took them they took them for granted off of their kindness. And now you're asking them to be kind. They're looking at you like, are you okay? Right? So it's a very tricky thing, right? That's why I keep saying skills, competence. It's either you know what to do or what you don't. You don't know what you don't know. You feel me? You don't know what you don't know. So a lot of people just operate off of this very surface level, be kind, be nice, all this kind of stuff. Like, what does that look like when you're inside of shege, when you're inside of crisis? That's really what we need to be talking about. We need scenario based. If this happened, if your mother-in-law comes against you, or you're married to, listen to what Clayton is saying. If you're married to a person that you feel like is your enemy now, what would you do? Would you want to be kind? As a normal person, as a normal human being on a normal day, you feel like this person has written a bill of $15,000 against you. Now, in this moment, you forgot that you had sex and you had 2 children. Okay? You're not thinking that. You're thinking she's using some children. You cannot factually know they're your children, but they're using those children against you. That's the way your brain is processing it, right? Would the first thing that comes to your mind is be kind to this woman? No, now. No, now. Right? Because that's something you'll be giving to that woman when you're already feeling like you've given your whole life to her already. But what can we give to this man in that spirit? First thing first is to ask him, what does he want? The same thing for a woman who feels the need to show a man shaggy. If you're going to help that person, don't bring your own story into it. Don't generalize and say all African women are out to get men. Ask that specific person, what do you want? Okay, all right, this is what you want. This is point A. This is where we are right now. Let's create a path to get there with the least amount of damages. Okay? That's what we need to do. And that's going to be tough. Because some part of that is going to require kindness. Particularly kindness to yourself. Because that mud you're about to drag yourself through, you're not even prepared for it. So we're going to be kind to you. See, kind to you, when we say self-love, right? It is something that can be received better. Not only does it work, not only will you have enough kindness to give other people, right? But it's not just, oh, be kind, be kind. Like, be kind. Like, everybody think they are being kind before they were taken for granted. So it's deeper. It has to be, these issues are deeper than just jump on the internet and generalize the way that Clayton is generalizing right now. Let's keep listening.
That women only react to what men do, that they don't have their own behavioral patterns, that they don't have their own emotional ways of interacting with people. In fact, that women copy men. That a fully grown woman at 40 is reacting to what a man did to her. She doesn't have her own plans, her own agenda. She doesn't have, that's what they're saying in the church now, because.
All right, so he's being condescending here, right? He's saying, because I've said, like, a woman she's naturally submitting to you, okay? So if she's showing you shege, you just can't see that far. There's a good chance that she's following your lead. There's a good chance. But there's a context here. If you're in a romantic setting with a woman that you married, and then she's moving a certain way, right? And then you now want to follow her. Right? You're following her. That's out of order. That's out of order. And so we tell you, slow down, don't follow her. She's already following you. Pay attention to why she's following you in that direction. Maybe you don't realize you've been doing something. It's not to judge you. It's not to say that everything is your fault. Now, damn, Clayton, they use the word fault and blame. It's not to blame men. It's for men to empower themselves, know that, hey, I have the power to influence the reality in this relationship. We're talking about in relationship. We're not talking about women being adults and being able to decide to be bad people. No, we're saying they can be bad people, but we're also saying if you attracted a bad woman and you stayed with the bad woman, you have to be willing to at least admit that you're not being accountable to attracting and staying with a bad woman, or having sex with a bad woman. Because suddenly you are remembering that she's a bad woman. It's like Eezee saying that Mercy Chinwo has been bad with money all along. I don't know why I signed her. Like, Baba, you signed her. And then you give her the opportunity and you benefited from it. Can we talk about all the benefits you got out of it? I mean, we should just pretend like that didn't happen. So we're not saying women are children. We're just saying because of social constructs, because of the way the family structure work in a traditional sense, she's already following your lead. If you lost your way, remember you lost your way. You didn't realize you lost your way. So of course, people like Clayton, that it didn't work out because it's a divorcee. It didn't work out for him. He would just always assume like, no, they were just out to get me and take me out and take my money and destroy me. And then he would try to save other people, and it's just disaster. It's disaster. So it's not that simple, okay? The way Clayton is talking about is the feeling, is the actual feeling that a man has when a woman becomes disloyal or she decides not to follow you anymore. I've been there. I know. Okay? But I was also maybe lucky enough. You want to call it luck. Feel free to call it luck. Or maybe I educated myself, right? I was able to reflect and say, you know what? I need some patience. I need to remove myself. Find out what's going on. right? And then I came up with some proven frameworks that actually work, that's worked for many, many other people right now, right? But it starts with taking care of yourself. Something that most men struggle to do. Take care of yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. So you can't come back to me 5 years later after you refuse to take care of yourself and say women are just out to get you. They just want to destroy you in their abroad. You're wrong now. Oh, wrong. Immediately, is dead on arrival. Wrong. Are there bad women out there? Yes. Did you marry them? Let's look at you. Yes. Did you marry a bad woman? If you married a bad woman, you have to hold yourself accountable to that. That's not to say she wasn't an adult. Two things can be true at the same time. She's a bad woman, but you also attracted a bad woman. Can you remove yourself? Blink twice if you need help. Blink. Terrible.
The pastors want to be sexually attractive, sexually, not only just sexually, but psychologically and character-wise, want to be a hero for the women in the church. So the church is no more a place where the gospel of God is being told to the women in truth. It's a place where pastor has to showcase himself as the only viable alpha male, as the only viable man, as the most attractive, like a hero. A hero is the only place where a loser, because a lot of them are losers, because I don't know why you have to come up to show a whole congregation you're a hero by preaching the wrong thing to them.
So he's calling pastors losers. You should be hearing the agenda in this way. At this point, we're no longer talking about Dr. Ikena. Rest in peace to Dr. Ikena. Are you kidding me? We're not talking about Dr. Ikena anymore at this point. This is personal vendetta against pastors. There are deeper reasons why women are attracted to pastors. Let me guess. They are leaders. Let me guess, they speak to their soul, to their needs at a soul level, at a very in-depth level, emotional level. I'm sorry if your wife pastor is competing with you. I'm so sorry. But that's the reality. But it's not as simple as they said. The pastor just cook it up and they just want to have sex with them. Shout out to Dr. Fatoyinbo. It's not that simple. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not that simple, Clayton. I know we like to oversimplify it to right and wrong. This is what it looks like. You can hear it. Oh, it's not that simple. No, these pastors just want to preach to our wife and then take their panties off of them. That's manipulating the woman to listen to you as opposed to listening to the pastor. But there's no value in listening to you. That's what the issue is. There's no value in it for them. Doesn't mean it's your fault. She could just be an Olosho. You married an Olosho, rightfully so. You're right to marry an Olosho. But please don't come back and say all the women that are listening to pastor is just as simple as the pastor is doing some kind of stuff to take their panties off of them with the speaking in tongues. Does it happen? Yes, it does happen. Welcome to the real world. Okay, yes, it does happen. Okay, and yes, women will continue to be attracted to pastors because why? Not just because the pastors is cooking it. Could some be cooking it? Yes, but it's not majority. Okay, it's just majority of the issue here is that there is a natural attraction between leaders and followers, not just women, including some men. Okay, some men are attracted to followers. It's just across the board. But yes, of course, women, of course, yes, of course, potentially, if she's vulnerable enough, she will take those panties off. Yes, if that happens to be your wife, I'm sorry, go on. But you can't jump onto the internet and make that everybody. Oh my God, that's crazy. And I'm not saying that's Clayton, but Jesus Christ. Let's keep going.
But they come out to become heroes in front of the women and to show how virtuous they are. So they're going to tell the women that no, when you picked up the knife, it's because of something the man must have said or must have done. That you cannot have your own plans of evil. The Bible says that the heart of man is exceedingly wicked and exceedingly scheming and always planning evil. But I think that verse was only for the men, right?
No. No, we know what you're trying to say. It's for the women. It's the women. They're always scheming against the man. Let's use sarcasm like he's doing right now. By the way, one of the poisons within relationship, we can do sarcasm when we're talking like this on platform. But you do that enough, sarcasm and condescension, you do that between you and your romantic partner enough, you will destroy your relationship. And you didn't know you're supposed to take the garbage out today, right? And you won't do it. Oh, I know you didn't know you're supposed to help me with children. You talk like that, you talk on the side of your mouth back ways, you will destroy your relationships. Yeah, they keep hearing that, it's just offensive, you know. But he's talking in public, so I'm not going to take that against him. But there's a tendency here that people that do that, they tend to do it. But it's a human behavior too. So I don't want to just castigate that and make that a devil thing. It's just something I want you to be aware of. If you notice that somebody is finding it offensive that you're being sarcastic, back off if you care about the relationship. Okay, tell them, express yourself in words, what you mean in the way that, like, be straightforward. Like, okay, babe, I'm trying to say this, say that. I need help. I need you. Can you help me? I suppose so. You didn't know you're supposed to help me, right? Those are two different sentences, and one is offensive and the other one is kind. How's that?
Right. So, but however, Ikenna Erine is dead. He lost his license in cardiology, of course, through this case. Plus, they slammed on him $15,000 a month, plus restricted access to his children. And the cardiologist, in the end, committed suicide. Handsome young man. And you would think that because I came out and did that video, oh, that's Clayton, he's mad. Like they said, I'm mental. No, there are thousands of African men, hundreds, who have died in the last 10 years.
But Clayton is not mental. Clayton had some experience, some interesting experience, and he only thinks with that experience, unfortunately. I've had conversations with him. He's tried to understand me, to listen to me. It's a struggle for him. Okay, I've had, like, Clayton, even like I said, Clayton, come on my platform, let's debate. When he gets here, he just soften up. He won't really tell me what he's thinking, so I can tackle them, and so we can really debate back, and he just won't, you know. He rather turn on the camera and just talk straight to the camera. If you saw him yesterday, shout out to June. She told me that he was on Daddy Freeze yesterday, so I went to watch it. You can see that he couldn't really engage Daddy Freeze, because Daddy Freeze is, you know, once you engage him in the form of a debate, he just breaks down. You know, unless it's like a yelling match, which they do on Clubhouse. But this is what I've observed. But when Daddy Freeze will be like, wait, I don't want to speculate. He said, oh, let them bring evidence that it's not $15,000 a month. Let them bring $1,900. Do you have evidence? No, it's just what your words. It's the same thing that Eezee and VeryDarkMan just did. It's just your words. Do you have evidence? No, stop asking us for evidence. Where is your evidence that it was $15,000 a month? Something that questioned from the very beginning. It doesn't make sense for an average person, right? Okay, is there somebody out there paying $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month in child support? Yes, like the PDDs, like the celebrities, like the R&B singers. Yes, like Tyrese. Tyrese is paying $10,000 a month. Tyrese makes millions of dollars every year from Rush, from the what do you call it, the Fast and Furious franchise, all this kind of stuff. He's crying about $10,000 a month. So it's not even about the amount. It's about when you feel like it's unfair. It's the feelings, it's the emotions of it that really matters. And Nigerians are out there crying about 15. What do you need 15,000? It's not about that. You're missing the whole point if you're stuck on the numbers. Okay, because the numbers, all that can be adjusted, all that you can fight that. It does the right? So it really doesn't make sense to be talking about the numbers. It makes sense because $15,000 is a lot to you. I understand it, but you're missing the point. It's the point that I'm making here. You know, so but Clayton knows that you're going to eat it up. 15,000. Oh my God. Oh, that's a lot of money. And then you completely miss the point that he's actually making. By the way, the point that Clayton is making is not Dr. Ikenna. The point is making right now. It's African women and pastors. All right, they're not in his good books. That's the point. Listen carefully.
Because of this situation. When I had, let me give you just a kind of like a little, like, you know, when I had my own divorce, my ex went from, you know, when you're in IT, you have what is called a recruiter. And the recruiter is the one who helps you to connect you with the companies. She went to each recruiter, reporting me to each of my recruiters, and then turned around and went to those recruiters and claimed that she had finished her whatever courses in IT. By the time I picked up the phone to call recruiters to get a job, they refused to work with me, or they'll tell me that they are now signed her up. And since there is a divorce between the two of us, there's a clash of and I'll be like, but I was working with you guys first. They say, oh no, it's okay, because she went around telling lies. Because what they do, they'll lie that they've slapped them, that there's been verbal abuse, that there's been physical abuse. They have to lie because they know what they're doing. A lot of them, the problem is they have to become you or greater than you. And so my advice to men, and I have to warn,
They have to become you or greater than you. The story he just told, oh my God. It's just a no, okay? Story in war. That story in war. That story is false. It's false, okay? It's a story, and I probably don't have the right to say it's false, but I'm saying it with my full chest. That story is false. The IT company, the consulting company, the recruiters you work with, your wife now went and did. He's just telling you the story of jealousy, right? He felt like the wife was jealous of him and all the money he was making, because he's an IT guy. All the money he was making, and then she went and cooked a bunch of stories against him and basically took over. And, you know, he never got a job with the recruiter anymore because there was a clash. That's not true. The only thing they ask of you is full disclosure. Sometimes do you have a family member that work for the company? Yeah, it's not true. If it's true, it's because there's something else involved. There's something that's missing in that story. Something missing in that story. But I understand it. He must justify the bullshit that is cooking right now.
men, is be careful who you are walking around. These women that you see walking around here, a lot of them are demonically possessed.
So it's mixing demons with pastors and IT. These things don't combine very well. Oh,
They like you for now, that you're driving in a car, you have this money on everything. But once you bring them into the house, they want to take everything you have. These are black widow spiders. They want
Black
to take,
widow
they want
spiders.
to take and become you.
No, Clayton, maybe you'll watch this. Clayton could be watching. A lot of people are monitoring spirit watching behind the scenes. He was a guest here before, like I said. You could go search Clayton Udo, manifested. You'll see it come up. Clayton, Black Widow Spider, like really? You know, you're laughing right now. You know you were cooking some bullshit here. And you tried it with Daddy Freeze yesterday. Even Daddy Freeze, they couldn't buy it. It was like, no, let's not do speculation. Do you know them personally? Let's just say I see him across the room. That kind of person that you know, but you don't know, like, Baba. And Clayton doesn't know how to lie. That's another thing. He doesn't know how to lie. He would literally, okay, what I mean by that is that while he might be cooking something, he would literally tell on himself.
And so you're going over in front of a woman trying to prove to a woman that, hey, I'm an engineer, or I'm a medical doctor, or a cardiologist, or I'm this, or I'm that. In her mind, she's trying to climb up to get out of the poverty that she had in Ghana, or the poverty that she had in Nigeria, or the poverty that she had in Kenya. So she plays along like a snake, like a cobra with you. She's going to take everything from you, from your house to your children. These people, a lot of men nowadays, the mothers, when you see all these girls on the internet insulting men and doing all the things, the mothers are the ones who've engineered them. They're going.
So almost all men that are going through divorce will say that same line. The mothers are manipulating them against me. See, one thing I noticed is that when I was going through my own, I would notice this kind of thoughts creeping through me, but then I would also notice that a bunch of other people are repeating it because I went through the same process, ended up in the, it wasn't manosphere, but it was mild at it, you know. It was kind of mild, you know. They have some of the rhetoric, a little bit more well-balanced person that I ended up using as a mentor. And I would notice some of those same lines repeated, and I would know instantly in my heart that something is wrong. Like, no, I need to rise above the average person. I can't keep repeating the same lines that everybody. Lines like, oh, she's manipulating the kids against me. What if the kids are going to be also programmed by the person that's actually raising them? What if my fears of hearing everybody else saying the same thing can actually create that reality in my head and in my reality effectively, because we are basically how we think, right? Yeah, you're basically how you are what you think. You're the way you think. Exactly. You will create that reality over and over again, even if it doesn't exist in a tangible way that you can touch. What if? These are the questions I would ask myself that most men simply don't ask. They just get caught up in their emotions and then keep repeating the same lines to themselves. The reality is that if something happens to your marriage, which doesn't have to be your fault, and your children are now being raised more likely than none by your wife, your relationship with your children will have to change dynamics. That's the reality. Now, will it change against you or for you? That will be up to you. It depends on how you manage that situation, because nobody's life is perfect anywhere. But here you are, your expectations with life was supposed to be perfect. So of course you self-sabotage even more. So he's repeating the same old line. They will manipulate the children against you. No, the children will precisely be programmed against you because you don't live there. It's just a natural order of things. So now the best you can do is how you're going to manage that situation. That's going to be your best bet. By the way, it might be a blessing in disguise. You might even end up, if you know what you're doing, in a better relationship with your kids if you manage that situation. But if you get caught up in your emotions and you just want to repeat the same lines, it's going to get worse. Oh, by the way, you repeat the same stories too.
They're going to take your children from you. They're going to turn your children against you. The number of men in the United States, in the African community, that the women have turned their children against the men, secretly or openly. They're going to turn the children against you. They're going to take your house from you. They're going to take everything away from you. If they could even actually become you and get rid of you, they will do so. Most of you men that are inside a marriage, even though you won't say it and you won't open your mouth, have been reduced to nothing.
Let me be clear here for all the weirdos on the back. Yes, it does happen like this. It does happen. Okay? It does happen. So the question is that how do we make sure it doesn't happen to you? You can't follow this generalized rhetoric. If you follow this generalized rhetoric, 10,000 times of what is painting right now will happen to you. If you need case-by-case studies, you need to understand why it happened to the people that it happened to so it doesn't happen to you, then you need to make it case-by-case. Okay? It is the idea that somebody you just broke up with or you just broke up with each other in a nasty way will be kind to you is unrealistic expectation. They're not going to be kind to you. They already felt like they were kind to you and you took them for granted. It doesn't matter what side. That's just how they feel. What you can do is understand why they are doing that at a deeper level and then learn the game and then navigate accordingly. If you use your emotions to navigate, it's not going to favor you. That's the bottom line. It's not going to favor you. Yes, these things do happen. Majority, no. If it was majority, it would be a war zone. It's not majority. Is it the loudest when it happens? Yes, it's the loudest cases when they happen. As you can see, Clayton has gone viral a couple of times. Because when these kind of things are painted, a very sensationalized story, of course they go more viral. Okay? Shout out to all the 11 people watching me live right now. Right? Of course, this will not go viral because I'm not extreme. I'm not saying it's doom and gloom. Women are out there to destroy you. Men are just destroyers. They will come and don't give them your kweku, so they will destroy you. I'm not saying that. So of course, only the Prestige family will find their way here from time to time. It's just what it is. I'm happy with that. I'm always happy with that. Okay? But every now and then, you know, one might fall through the crack. I want to make sure that's not you. If you see all kind of demonically possessed stories out there that's being repeated like this, or Black Widow spider stories from a Clayton out there, and you find yourself relating with it, your destruction is coming. By the way, you're relating because there's destruction already, but it's probably gonna get worse. I'm warning you. It's gonna get worse. You're gonna be out there in the streets, single, lonely, no kwekus, can't see your children. If you see them, you can't build relationship with them because you think somebody's out to get you all the time, and you're leading with that. It's your mindset. And so you guess what? You're going to recreate it. It's feminine. So you're going to recreate it all the time. Multiply it. Let's keep going.
You are submissive, and even being submissive is not enough. Did Ikenna stand a chance? No, he did not. He didn't stand a chance, because even if he didn't kill himself and he had decided to like stay along and just continue this war.
He wasn't saying Dr. Ikenna didn't stand a chance. He's saying you don't stand a chance, gentlemen. He's saying you don't stand a chance. And if you relate with him, you're right. You don't stand a chance. He's right, you are right. If you can relate with him and you think what he's saying makes absolute sense right now, you are absolutely right. You don't stand a chance.
You're right.
You know, it's so sad. You don't stand a chance. Okay? So how do I make sure I can relate with this person? You need to go back to the drawing board. Let's focus on what do you want first. Stop talking about everybody else, what they want to do, how they want to get you, how they're out there to just destroy you. Remember for a second that you have a sister, you have a mother, you might even have a daughter, right? But let's go back to what do you want? Let's go back to the drawing board, because what you want is the cocoa here. That's the bottom line. And you can get what you want. I would never encourage you to get what you want by stepping all over everybody and being messy and just walking all over people and calling people and just say it's doom and gloom. I won't encourage that, because it's not true. It's simply not true, because people are having a good time. They are obviously, the person having a good time in their marriage is not out there on the internet talking about his doom or gloom. They're obviously not on the internet, right? They're obviously not going viral for obvious reasons. So I'm sorry, he's right. If you can relate with him, you don't stand a chance. And Obìnrin is not your mate. Okay? Obìnrin is not your mate. You see, if you take that feminine mindset to a woman, they will chop you up. Obìnrin. They eat you up and spit you out. He's right about that. Not a particular Obìnrin, of course. That Obìnrin you will attract. He will eat you up and spit you out. Some of them will be like they're empathizing with you, they're sympathizing with you. Like, it makes sense. It makes sense. Women, we correct ourselves and no. They can't help you. I'm sorry, they can't help you. You stand no, he's right about that. If you can relate with him, you stand no chance. You need to fix yourself. And stop with yourself. Yes, Jum, if it's making sense to you, you're broken. And I understand. I get it. I'm not judging you. I'm not blaming you. But I'm telling you, oh my God, it's going to get worse.
I wish the woman continues fight. She has to subdue you. You've become her focal point. You're a cardiologist and you're a medical doctor, and you're showing off. In her mind, you're showing off. You refuse to be submissive. You've refused to be. A lot of the women that you see with the showdowns here.
The submissive thing he's saying about men being submissive is condescension. Okay? He's trying to say women are not submissive, they want you to submit. And if you don't submit, you stand no chance. In very weird, twisted ways, he's right. It's not women that you need to submit to. Not women. It's not women that you need to submit. There's just a lot more going on than your emotions, that's all. And you're not self-aware. You're not self-aware. So it's gonna get worse. You know, fundamentally speaking, I disagree with Clayton. He knows this personally. They've tried to drag me on Clubhouse. They couldn't. Because I sat down there with them for years, having a conversation with them. Many of them now consider me a mentor because I stick it out with them. You know, but these things are tough. They're very tough to break. If you don't pay money to a coach to help you, you will not break out of it. Okay, if you're going around looking for free what do you call it, free advice, counsel all over the internet, it's free. You're gonna get what you pay for. You're gonna get what you pay for. Why should you pay? Because when you pay attention, and then you zone in, and then you block out the noise. The noises are attracting and they are distracting because they make sense to somebody. They make sense to the pain you've gone through. I promise you, it's not going to be that simple. Okay? If somebody is speaking to what you like, there are sometimes I will speak to what you like, and then you stuck around because of that at that time. But you notice that, it looks like Ola is dragging me. Like, yeah, that's the growth. It's called growing pain. If you don't feel that pain, if you don't feel like you need to push against me sometimes, I'm not helping you. That's the fact of the matter. That's the truth. And that's the only truth that exists. Okay? Somebody was just in my comment correcting my pronunciation of champagne as champagne and not champagne. I'm like, monitoring spirit. Why you do like that? You're dragging my H factor. Oh, hurts. It hurts. Right? It hurts. I'm just kidding on that one. But are there comments that are offensive out here on these platforms? There are. There are comments that are offensive. But if I don't get comments that are offensive, it's stupid. I'm not doing anything then. We need is friction. Friction. The only way you can make a move in this life is friction. Some kind of friction must happen. That's where your growth lies. No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. But on this internet street, the most viral platforms is because it's an echo chamber. They are agreeing with each other. Okay, that's why they go viral. Okay, and there's no growth in that at a personal level. I'm just warning you. But I think I'm gonna, because I think it's just repeating the same thing.
The showdowns in the American court is the idea that they have to defeat you. Suddenly it's like a demonic thing. You came to marry them, but suddenly they have to defeat you and make you submissive. That's the spirit reigning here. The church I attended in 2024, that's the spirit reigning in the whole church. The men must be submissive, if not so they destroy you. And so in that kind of a thing, you are going to pick up somebody and the person pretends like, oh yeah, I love you. No, they don't love you.
I've told you here before, pretending is one of the worst word you can zone in on. If you tend to just look at other people and they are pretending, they're just out to get you. They don't need to get you. You already got yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't trust yourself. You're not sure of yourself. You already see, you defeated yourself already before you even encounter that person at all. They're just pretending. The fact of the matter is that people can only pretend for so long. If you are able to discern, if you work on yourself and you're able to discern, people can only pretend for so long. Are there pretenders? Yes, but they can only pretend for so long. This is not a real weapon. The only weapon here is the weapon against yourself. Fashioned against yourself all by yourself. Shout out to your past experience that you can get past. And shout out to all the free advice and counsel on the internet, including the one I do here. Because I told you here, I'm generalizing too. There's only so much you can get from this free stuff. Okay, I will get the ad revenue. You get nothing. If you need help, seek the help you need. Make sure you pay for it. If you don't pay for it, it's highly unlikely. I'm not saying you don't get free help that are helpful, but when you're dealing with this kind of deeply rooted stuff, this mental stuff, please do the needful. Do the needful. If it's free, make sure it's a pastor. Pastors know they will get their money one way or the other. Okay,
They want what you have. They want your money. They want your possessions. They want everything. Just look at this young man.
they want to destroy you.
Handsome young man. Do you know what it means to be a cardiologist? There was laws that were passed here in the United States, and the laws that were passed was that you cannot bring your degrees from Nigeria to start here anymore. So it means that he spent 8 years here. You have to have your 4-year degree first, and then you now go in for your 4 years of your medical degree.
So the best you can get, shout out to, I'm so sorry, RIP to Dr. Ikena, condolences to his family. I'm sorry that this one is getting dragged with his own thing. If you have these stories that he's linking together right now, you obviously need help. Okay, You need help because clearly you still want what you want, but you're not coming out with your full chest to say, this is what I want. I want a good woman, a loyal woman, a respectful woman, a woman that admires me, a woman that's in love with me. You need to come out with your full chest and say that's what you want. See, if you're not attracting that, there's a reason. There is a reason. Ladies, the same thing goes for you. If you have all this doom and gloom stories about how men are just out here to destroy you, you're exactly the same thing. It's just polar opposite in terms of gender. You're exactly the same person. Okay? You will self-sabotage, you will destroy it. If you have a marriage right now, it's a ticking time bomb. You will destroy it. Okay? I don't care if you destroy it. Oh, me too, I agree with you. Okay, but I'm talking to those that care. Right? You care, you need to work on yourself. That's the only way out. You need to work on yourself. There is no way out. If it sounds overly simplified, it is the toughest thing you would do. It's the most difficult thing you ever do. Renewing of the mind. Renewing of the mind. Your mindset. Okay? Renewing of the mind is one of the most difficult tasks, right? It's one of the most difficult tasks you will have to do. I struggle with it. Everybody will struggle with it. Okay? Everybody will struggle with the renewing of the mind. We were all programmed a certain way with our experience, either the way we were raised or a particular personal experience we've had. We were all programmed a certain way. And unfortunately, that way you've been programmed, it hasn't prepared you to handle long-term relationship with another human being. It hasn't. I don't care how much premarital counseling you've gone through, right? If you don't know how to sit in the funk of a disagreement, an argument with a partner, a romantic partner you're having sex with, and actually be patient and actively listen. You feel like they're not being fair, but you're able to listen all the way through. What kind of pain is the other person going through? If you haven't been taught that, if you haven't practiced that in real time, you're not prepared. Renewing of the mind is one of the most difficult things you will have to do in your life. You won't know now until you've gone through some kind of shege. Okay? Until you don't collect shege from a man or a woman. You might not be able to relate. Forget that. You won't be able to relate until you've collected shege from a person you thought you were in love with, or a person you thought would love you, a person you thought loved you from here to moon and back. And then they woke up one day, they just start showing you shege. You won't understand what I'm saying. What you would do, jumping around, make sure you marry someone that's kind. Is who you marry. You. If you marry to the wrong family, all of us married to the wrong family, there's dysfunction in every family. Let me just tell you right now, all of us, Allah speak for yourself. Nope, this one I'm generalizing. All of us married into the wrong. All right, so because we're not going viral on the internet, somehow we're lucky. You're right. You need to renew your mind. It's your mindset. I didn't say it's your fault, but if you need to use the word fault, yes, it is your fault. Yes, it is your fault, Clayton. Yes, it is your fault. Everyone that can relate with Clayton. Yes. You need self-awareness. You need emotional intelligence. You need to have the skills to navigate another human being's emotions. You cannot do that if you don't have the skills to navigate your own emotions. You lose instantly. You lose instantly. If you don't understand how the society works, the social construct, you lose, you stand no chance. Clayton was definitely right about that. If you think everybody out there in this street are just out to get you, all these people, I'm in New York City right now, I'm in a hotel room in New York City. All these people, they're just walking through this street. There's millions of people walking down here and they're walking down the street right now. Right? All these people are just out here, they just want to destroy you. If that's how you move, you're already lost. You're already lost. Does that mean there are no people in your life pretending they just want to hurt you? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Two things can be true at the same time. But if this is just how you think and you're generalizing it, you stand no chance. Not in romantic relationships, okay? Definitely not. And definitely not in politics. And more likely than none, not in so many words or any aspect of life. You will struggle because you always think somebody's out to get you. And every time you look, you will see somebody that looks like they're out to get you. They just want to hurt you. If you look around you enough, you will find somebody that's just your enemy. Why do you think they sell it in church so badly? Because anytime somebody say, there's an enemy right now, you can relate. The first thing you see in your dream is your mother. Why? Because she whooped your butt when you were a child and you couldn't get over it. I knew that woman was a witch. They sell that for literally millions of dollars in Nigeria. How do I know? Because look at Nigerian state. Look at the average mindset. It's a mindset thing. Romans 12:2. I don't preach you, but it's in your scripture. I don't preach you. Just something small. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. Generalization. But be conformed by the renewing of your mind. Personalize it. Own it. Work on yourself. What is it about my mindset that is destroying my chances at life and love? Bad things happen to you. It happens to everybody. Okay, obviously, everybody's level is different, right? Hopefully, we're not praying that bad things happen, but this is the real world. Everything that starts will end. Careers, lives, right? Businesses, right? It's just what it is, right? But our relationships is what we have. It's what we hold on to. It's what we care about. Our emotions are attached to those relationships. Your experience in real time as you're going right now is a function of your mind. Not the fact that the world is a cold world. It's always been a cold world. There are people out here that are just, they have their own agenda. You're not telling us anything new by just painting a picture of doom and gloom. You're doing you're making yourself feel better in this moment. That's all you're doing. There's nothing new in that. But you're going to hurt yourself more and more. That's the point I'm making here. Then you will be able to test and approve what's God's will, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Discernment. If you don't work on yourself, you cannot discern. You don't see evil when it's coming. You already see everything as evil, and that's not true. If that's not true already, you already see everything as evil. It's simply not true. So you're already wrong as opposed to learning how to navigate this life. Jim just say yes, there's some level of dysfunctionality in every family, all of us. Everybody, last, everybody go chop breakfast. There's nothing new about you painting a picture that somebody is pretending they just want to take your money. Like, no, you're telling us that you're hurting, if anything, and you need to seek help and make sure you pay for the help. Pay for it. Ola, you only say that because you charge for it. Yes, you're right. But if you don't pay attention. It's as simple as that. The distractions are real. The distractions are enticing because they connect to your nerves, to your pain. It's real. It is what it is. Okay? So let's gather ourselves together. Because I think a lot of people are just struggling because of this very simple thing, but yet very hard and difficult thing. Working on yourself. Work on yourself. What they rather do is work on other people. They want other people to conform to them, and then they're just conforming to the world. They just want other people to think like them. Marry the person who is like you. That's stupid. It doesn't exist. You're not going to marry somebody who's like you. Let me just tell you straight up, it is stupid. You're not going to marry a person who is like you in any capacity. You might have same values in some level, but those values are going to get tested when you disagree. I'm warning you right now. I'm telling you right now, all those things are going to get tested. You'll be tested. You don't build anything that's worthwhile in life, family, business, without being tested. It just simply doesn't exist. So it's all realistic expectation, and you're being prideful at best. You think you're better than everybody. You think you're perfect. You think you're a good guy. You think you're a good woman. You are a prideful person. That's your problem. Those are your two problems. You have unrealistic expectations of yourself and others, of course, effectively. And you're prideful. And you know what they say about pride, right? It goes before destruction. It goes before destruction. Check yourself. Check yourself. Okay? Check yourself. Very, very important to check yourself. Because I don't know what other powers you have outside of your own mind and self-awareness. Self-awareness, emotional intelligence. I don't know what other powers you have. I don't care if you're talking about romantic relationships or politics. Your understanding of how the human mind works is everything. And you cannot understand that unless you master your own mind. Everything is your mind. I'm teaching you the power of the mind. Your own mind will destroy your chances. Just look at how you interpret every issues on this social media street. Just check it. Like, how did I interpret that? Why did I interpret it that way? Why do I think VDM is the one that's going to save me? Why? Do I feel oppressed? Do I feel like those ones have two heads? Those people that are leading, they have two heads. Do I think just one way, two way? Black or white? Black or white? You're obsessive. You're obsessed with your need to be right. It's always going to backfire. I've been talking about this consistently on this platform for 3+ years. I will keep talking about it. They're poisons. Your obsession are poisons. Shaming, manipulation. I'm so disappointed. All that is shaming. Why do you feel the need to do that? There's no real value in the eyes of the beholder. You cannot communicate the value. Even if there's value, you don't know how to communicate the value unless you shame a person for it. Of course, whose fault is it? You're always looking for whose fault is it. You want to blame, you need to blame somebody so you can feel better about yourself. You don't think there's any lessons you can get out of any stories unless you blame somebody. You need to condemn a person. You need to judge them. It's a losing battle. It's a losing battle. Guilt is just as good as blame. Oh, I was wrong. I should have known. I'm sorry. You're apologizing 50 million times. You're a manipulator. You're not listening. That's why you're apologizing 50 million times. You're a manipulator. You need to listen beyond just being right. It's your need to be right. That's why you think, just apologize. If enough people just say, I'm sorry, it's a stupid advice. If enough people just say, I'm sorry, this one would be better. No, this is stupid advice. Okay? It's an advice that's not attached to listening, understanding the need of another person before you try to pour into them. So, of course, discrete logic, black and white, they don't work. It's not reality. There's nothing that's purely black. There's nothing that's purely white. Okay? You're a hypocrite. Hypocrite near. Kini Yoruba hypocrite. What's hypocrite? I don't know. You're a hypocrite. Okay? You're a hypocrite. That's why. Okay? Sarcasm, talking behind, back way out, in submission. They want the men to submit. That's not reality. So I don't know why you keep zoning in on that. Men are not going to submit. If anything, they get feminine and they lose their way, and women are not going to be attracted to that. If they are, it's short term. If they are, they won't sleep with you. Okay? When was the last time you heard? I know there's Nigerian women in DMs, in the DMs of VDM. But where's the last time somebody said, hey, he's a fine boy, I want him so bad? When was the last time you see that? That's the least thing they want him for. Okay? I'm sure there are women in these DMs. I'm just kidding. Okay? Shout out to VDM. Condescension, right and wrong, obsessed. These are the poisons that you need to watch out for. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. That's all I have today. Alabosi, thank you. I'm just looking at the comment. Alabosi, you're a hypocrite. Alabosi, yeah. I mean, I just tell it to Alabosi, yeah. You're not a truth. You're not a truth. Monopolist here. Stop it. Jim just said, but you can apologize to the other party after understanding their point of view. Of course, that's the key. That's the driving force. You need to seek understanding first, right? So any one of these things, I'm talking about the obsession of it, the obsession with an idea. Any idea you're obsessed with has its blind spots. Every single, including the ones I preach, every idea or ideology you're obsessed with, they have their blind spot. They have their, because this world is a moving thing. It's moving. So you must know that you have to stay on top of that. That means you're always listening. Don't overreact because you believe in some stupid ideology that was written about 5,000 years ago without any understanding. Alabo, you're a hypocrite. Okay? Not you, Prestige family people, of course. Not you. You guys are the best. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. This was a masterclass. I thought it was going to be a masterclass. It ended up being one. But please help me like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody else if they missed this out that they need to come back and watch this, because I'm learning and I'm sharing as I'm learning. That's all this is. Okay, that's all this is. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Go out there and go and have a good day. If you have somebody at your job and they are the enemy, okay, guess what? You become the enemy. Master them. Learn their game. Don't be a victim. God damn. Don't stay a victim. Learn their game. But understand that there are options. That job, you can replace that job. I swear, Allah, you can replace that job. Don't be so scared. Don't be afraid of people who are pretenders, who are just out to get you. Master their game. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Please. So go out there today, go and make a killing, because I trust you can do so. All right? Cheers. Talk soon.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.